ma leader jo. Leader, majo. Accra na bibia boko de.
Onyame adom kakra.
Onso efe. Me hu kan tete sa na de bia me hu secret dey.
Well, say we hear on so ye kakra. Titru ni say. Minum cigarette.
Okay.
Minum yenuma DVC bia bia minum bi.
Okay.
Say yes cigarette nguna DVC bia na woni bia ka ho. Na DVC ba. Minum DVC bia minum. Ensa so hard liquor pa.
Red wine there, Accra Ubokakra na.
Oh, occasionally. Yeah, me dia. Nanompono. Na say mu hon me kono bi mane ha me nti be since February me decided say me cut off.
Okay.
Na ma hwe ma pom den kakra. Na nya dia de bia me wine mpo na nya dia me nom ne de bia aduane di mu occasionally once twice a week bi. Ade de wonom na say ko akiri say wo say ya ha watching break kakra. Nti that is what it is. And I mean me didi mu pan so me didi mu enso ye kakra. I don't eat outrageously. Me measure kakra. Me why timetable to be any deal. I take in measured quantities and so I think we mu enebua ema nyame adom metimi keep me ho together.
Right. Ma yen starting komo na yen free wo man yen mra shebdwafie yen hwa mamu kakra se ne bibia ewura NPP mu edi NPP enkomo wasom se mra shebdwani en wasom ache yie pa ye campaign for wo man mu a matena wo man mra shebdwafie acha yen mo ba kumyenu abra wodin entimi embam wasan majority leader pen yen ro man mra shebdwafie ena edom kuma ye NPP mra shebdwafo stage walk out media budget review na huhia so mu stage sa work out nana
mi bisaye dia enam so ema no basa na achi na minya ntie se emse asema aba ye ablikuma abato eho sema aban no ema asem no pumasibre eno ho enema omo yese omo be yesa ye kire no say finance minister a oba no e president ena asoma no president ni sikasem eho nkontebu Ghana for but usually no de efa osoafo bi so the finance minister wode mampani enumsem na eba ntina kese omo ye a sada no the significance of it ni say omo ya kire mampani ana say wonfa nkrato nkoma mampani ntina ma omoye ni amoye no nti that is information me no me tifro me nya fi minority caucus for no eho and sanity I think the real issues are at all as a finance minister e be raise no so e de em say eho sempa no me gidi say omo akotra se a ombe hunu nema omo a bia wo so mbe yi ano ana se bia me kire omadwen.
But omo catcher no sa walk out no stage ye no na necessary too edom kuma na faso protest against Bibi and I can be.
Oh, it can be. Say this is not the first time ya toaba na de nsusu aso boni aba. Na so se ni ekono. Eye ajinsem. Me ba mra hye bedwafie since 1997. Me ba ye no me hunu bi ni see. I think the first by election ye by see was 1998. Na ye penin bi a ye beto no mra hye bedwam. Ne friend no Luke Ko no wo Lambusie. Na me no ye enya ayonkofa esanse na me ne wo committee ebiso mra hye bedwafi.
Okay.
Nti ma me hunu yi mretia na yakoto no ho no. Ofiri mu the first by election yakoye na African time. Ho ne yakoye no. I think by election in the produce ye nua baby and friend no Alice Boone in 1998. Na ho no kiki kakra by but na nye p. Eno achi by election be biwa eno so nkede I think before Luke one crowd, the first one was in 1997. I was Agona Jamase, Commander Griffith, any Gina Homa, NDC.
Okay.
Yenuya Chirematin, near friend Chirematin, na ono any Gina Homa, or a pharmacist, or KNUST.
Okay.
Or hospital. And obey Mrasebeni Emaye. The Sabatono. Just say much to semni kiki clear ba hono. Na minami who beside. It was serious. It me a cattle form. And no chila make say 1998 the buy 1998 the buy a course rimono. And no the no creamy and peja. Send ye bar a friend saying ye aguna a hodiano. Then entered Nitiwu a year 2001. President Kufo. Na Dr. Chambers and then wo bimbila. And I buy no unya ECOWAS appointment and we fee parliament and we call ye. Check why by election and Nitiwu a 1 year on the ticket of NPP. I also kiki kriba hopa. Ya mekai biu I know so I didn't so bonny pa by was yenuya ankama au jina awatiwa ne hododo no a ofiri mu ekoto aba sa aba na produce ya na bo amakwata ma ne ba atiwa abato empeso ano so eno na Anita de Suzu okutwi car pickup
adko otwia fa manfo so
otwifa wo so nyese nke otwia fa otwifa wo so manipa ne bebre prepare ema enu achi ye Fred then Attorney General Martin Amidu ema ne ba mra se bedwem ye twen no ebisa se saa asem ne sie no ehun sunso so akosi sen Anita de Suzu na yes ade no e de asotwe na aba ne de ma no because yente se abana ka bibia ema Martin Amidu be kan se abajitu mu se yes ka na Anita de Suzu timu no ekofa enkrofo bi so prepare inipa be dumienza o say innocent bystanders ene sade ne fa mo bi prepare na mum no ayi ehwemu a ke betimi a produce evidence adance die amia prosecute Anita de Suzu no o mo enya anye conclusive until they cannot prosecute Anita de Suzu. And I say, wete eye pansam. Eno efi ho ena yenua ba Doris Seidu ewu o kyerepone. Ye ko abato no. Eno na obi na oye adwuma wo Castle President Mills samde na kache. Obetu tuo pe ebo nipa nkron. Emonson de prepare seriously. Eda no nyame ene bo ayen na Professor Frimpong Boatin yene ne call ne ekosie Doris na ekosie da sa ekosie da na ye adwense wie be last rally no na NDC for be catches ne o ma ye mo last rally memenda ye koye de Sunday ye ni nipa wu ntie koye de Sunday no ena mo so mo premier nye rally no ena de ma tutu no baye nipa nso prepare ya Professor Frimpong Boatin o ma edom gu ka mu a ono so tu ni ka di akire de edom ba yendi government hospital the whole night ebeye operation eyi emu tu aboba no oyi bebre a ama mbeye omo trase eye okratesbo nyesa sa nipa nso no ebi anka omo free mu those things are there ni esi ayawo so na anu yi President Kufuor emre nobody will justify it obi anka sa ni esi ye ne ye but see any man this for no omo kasa ma ne ye say elections and elections related violence started with ayawo so de ne twemu no
to watch reponi talensi ne de keke
yes in fact even in 1996 me swami elections okay say na me ye rally ema akwabi ne efe no ya gruponi macho ni bia no wote Pankrono estate woni NDC for the pickups be far ho some de mo ba na tutuo wo mo cars ni mu ekotwe jato ye party office mu tafo omo ba no ana manfo alarmed say no, they will face this people. Omututu no mo start say omututu abo no ebo no ba kona group no ni take pick up no bucket ni mu two kura no ebo no ba konko bo no dodge no fi car motor wodi amika ko fie ya ne ho no kofuru fie ni ceiling eno hye wa amanfo to bo ko fie ho na meka chemo munyai e fie ho no for you know NPP 40 amuja ye no abototo na mse krache na afi no fi se yama ye wie rally no
to
opie mse okọ eves na no se na ho no yama leakage bi on diama ceiling na ye week odu on e bu no e be hwe fom na amanfo no ko no so omubu no no kre ma wo hwere ne nkwa eno ene ekocheche nkrofo bi na mia mempanifo bi ka ho chechire omo ni evidence bi ya say omo na yes adwuma no. It went on for about 3 years. NPP for buying a discontinued cases because there was no evidence. Anyway, I'm just saying, say elections related violence, no, I hear one too many. And see, I could for the time, no, I'm out for can't was him. When I was setting up committee, saying him, I buy in yes, ye. President Mahama, I'm saying, be journalists, we could be saying, also, dear Nessie. So, or claim say be a won't tea. Uhuni ya wante awunni na wante ya ene adanse aba chire baby social media omo capture nkrofo no mo hono they are known NDC people say yenka ho bibia na eno kre ni entwe nti eno na em say enuanom no ehwe ho say no enna ono asoma ne bofo so mrade ene yenye sa ye chire no na nchire say asem no eda ho atwire ho a onka hwe ndi epenenu asemeti ewo ho. It is not good whether say NPP 4 time they see ye and I say NDC 4 time they see ya. Ni nyina no nye. Yenye ni ntimi nsia no. Se say ye kan yakotia by election ba wo.
Exactly.
One ma won na one for na see for more. It will embolden people to go and do worse things. Ghana, nyame ahira yen. Yes,
and do you expect to say NPP 4 so a protection ho going into Akwatia by election?
Nya mpani say opam ohufo a oten bema. What you say? Yes, you know. So obia nkokwa. Obia be try say obebo no ho ban. What you say? Na if say be approach for no so bit me sintemu ama bibia emma. But I want to believe say aban no te ho no control sa police force no ne the tax of the NDC amko yes no wonya se bibia anka. Enani chine ya. Wan hwe ya na eho yankotia sempa. Ye bompa ye say NC but say NC no I will say President Mahama by whatever means say through the Minister for Interior who say or no also be ba bontia be kasa on finance from say ne be ya ade be kyen no o man kote asemo a e be bu nkama fa so
right yeah that's what my imra subject now make us NDC for any test majority e ba sa e den na e ka e be medum kuma no the mighty minority no adwuma ye den ana.
Oh, same penny say enso me nipa na ye. But see numbers count. I'm saying na imprepi nipa be kan. Sorry. Send ya working ya yi if any say. Send ya working ya yi dom no say yase wo ya no ma na afre ya no. Enti say wo ye bibi na wo we chinese ni beni wa na wa bem kre ye bu
wo kwaye mutuhu na nipa ma
ya no ade ato beni wo na so bi ama me bo wa ya na mu odin kakra but in parliament say omo wo ho no say dom no sampo na say ye dodo ye ketewese a amutimi ye ade ma na esi epi esita. Let's not forget 1992 ye to aba NPP ne kuno akano boycott parliamentary elections no. Samre no in parliament there were only 2 minority voices. How Yakubu ne was it in Debugri? And Asachiliwo. No, actually what the end by I think it was How Yakubu. And they say in Debugri and they bar first time. There were only 2 people. And yet they registered their voices strongly in parliament. 200 member chamber no. Na 198 NDC EGEL and NCP. Nipa minupe. but na Ghana for T in sema ekoso parliament enye ye ba ye 61 ye ba 1987 no 200 na MPP for 61 no o here in percentage terms na ye about 30 almost 31%. Sanya ene etepepepe about the same percentage. The good thing for us was that any pensia no more other parties and be calm minority caucus no
in 1997.
In 1997.
Okay.
And my 67, but MPP for Nankasani is 61. So tell me Kasane number no even with the 67 no NDC 2/3 they were short by just one. But 1992 there no we are 98%. What you say? Nti ebia na ompese me ebia nka ombetimi aye. But sometimes you are restrained by public morality. So the way they me yen say be too much. What you say? But you see constitution mu no and never be require 2/3 no. Near a border on constitutional change. We be here after that say parliament the president of Accra besa ko referendum.
Okay.
The 2/3 no and yet that's significant. You may get the approval from parliament, but so okasa oko implemented the just oko referendum untimi nya easy. The buying may not even think of doing anything. What I say? The near my betting the aye ne ebia and saying a Kufuor Bre was justices and through the judiciary among Kasa recommendation judicial council recommendations through the chief justice Amade Baye say emfa enipa no nko edunson no me edunum o say emfa nko du edunson. President Mahama using the minority caucus at the time no cast no number no do no do chief justice e can say we here 17 no because enema e wo ho no do. Now the number 15 no, they cannot empanel more than 2 groups because
at the same
panel
time
biano 5 members minimum. And it is offer a 15 no, which includes the chief justice on normal cases no on panel no ho. Like as I 2 about 10.
Yeah.
Now 4 no eti say bi obi yare na akore place no. So and this idea they could only impale to into a case and can for 2 and on to 3 panels. And then President Mahama public space what can say number the doors no. Then you come 7 at once. Oh, Sanya Mano. A bit rich Ghana for becoming in our boom because penny what in sure Jan no Casach Ghana for. So inti ubunza wata cinema kuma buhunse niema bebre enkoyi anase bia penino amano kra na edi. But these are early days ebekwa ni mu no ebehunu senia enema besi akọ afa.
January 7 2025 na 9th parliament e shase your general assessment of the 9th parliament do say omunkondru bia.
Oh say senia yekin and I'm say omo overwhelming majority ntino. I said they take minority for no presence for granted. About the team percent per year. Oba say you beto aba. Oto aba na obeka wasem. Enso bia unya ayi support no. Na bia ya toba no munya. Enti almost bibi opeso ye bia no betumi aye. Because most decisions in parliament are just simple majority. To say huge number no. Betumi aye ni ope. Ya na ayi the other majority groups in say and nam say president no offer majority of ministers from parliament in Tino. Say number no was so crambona be ministers na free mu no a unya wo mo brebia of parliament no. On a typical day we na majority for no abe minority. But with this huge numbers no there. Omumpo free mu a
still they
have the numbers. So I'll bet me dominate debate and everything. One can hear cry speaker because you are say that is the reality of the times. But I would urge a minority for say omunyina painting. Niema see 6 months a year titru budget. Ato edibaya mo approve ye. Budget no na uhwemu na enye inspiring. So because nema wokohwe manifesto no ane wo mu no a omo say omo ebo ayi ehu de ru so omo ba ombe shase so big push 10 billion ye reset o man for front ye be 24-hour economy e be sini kura obi ntimi nchirem 10 billion no e fa na kofa free asi akana sa o se be ye women's banking afei ko wi a chira o se me de 50 million e shase. When you know say we establish a banker, a 400 see capital 400 million, and a working capital, and yet you all this is dying. And I say what they call renting a dying. Yeah, what they bought for 2 casano with 50 million. Now a staff what they call any offices say me you put now on cry ha what we call regional capitals 50 million. It can't do anything. End minister, end minister, I didn't say cry. Oh, so. All these things nanka we expect say e betimi di empuntuo about man mu no na utimi hu say as a budget no it was just to stabilize the system. Then came President Mahama, the message on the state of the nation. You see, message on the state of the nation no say wo hwemu a wo kohwe ayi provision na e wo constitution mu a was say the president shall present at the beginning of every year, no, a message on the state of the nation. In some women, no, the constitution no nka, but would when you compare directive principle of state policy no more, a hot show and some of Babeka. And tea, Nanka wo say, San Sem no, or Babeka saying. And some be wow, I'm more. And in debating Sani Mano, now Kofaba say, and some constitution is show, say, Bia, also because I say me. Article 34, clause 2 of the Constitution. Or see the President shall report to Parliament at least once a year all the steps taken to ensure the realization of policy objectives in this chapter, and in particular, the realization of basic human rights, a healthy economy, the right to work, the right to good health care, and the right to education. Don't forget some more banana, or say free senior high grade became. So you want to compare a small kind of manifesto, what kind of public platforms we need the message on the state of the nation. Or say a healthy economy, also be a big push, or the 10 billion member, or buy and one
24-hour economy.
24-hour economy, or buy a metrim, Tinanka, who judge no, based on Sawi. So what you say?
Constitution, and just one may
can be there. And going forward, and Nema Walker, how may be a trouble. The concerted effort they managed to get civil society organizations, trade union congress, employers association, even the men of the pulpit, academicians. 2 weeks and me akotoabo na demonstrations koso. And the galam say ne omo kan ho asem no. I peja ne mu chen akufo adobre. Where are the pastors who spoke against it?
Is it because a
journalist omo kasa no mo kasa tia no omo way? Civil society organizations omo way. Academicians no mo kan ho asem no omo way. All because of strategically John Mahama kofuna no omo kasa tia no afro no man position. Even within the media front, no, wakofa we na media offices, no, so wakofa we from Joy, wakofa we from her, and yo, as you be at her sympathetic media houses will be in agency working near me, so many DNA be a nature near do me so. So those of them, the voices are no more criticized by now. Even civil society organizations who spoke against Galamsey, where are they? When you know say no emu pejamo na de na ye no so o manchechire na ye ne sa no e bedi baabi no na ye den enra na meni madam fubi na me kan bibi kire so President Mills all because na eneye na woda enti na me ka so President Mills e kai meni nua a ogira ho ma ye kei on 3 occasions okofa Commander Sugar Factory and was in by Parliament. And then where is he? Where is he? I feel the Ojai Kasa or Commander said no, a priority for his people. Where is he? Untimi Enkanwa. Some factory no President Mills, President Mahama time. And he shall you.
Yeah.
Think can be and say. And the NPP for buying no man yard who Bibi Casibia. Into what bay, yes, I could shame Kana as a ding. I feel never you, I feel to me. Are we being truthful and candid to ourselves as a country? And assessing. And I say political opportunism and
yet goodwill na party na enjoy because we take Ghana for be more goodwill. NPP for because NDC is still more goodwill. Yenya more for some time. Only still na say goodwill no.
Oh na Akufo-Addo buy first time no. The first time he contested John Mahama in 2016 now or when I'm talking about say after the two had completed the 8-year tenure of the Mills Mahama administration now when they contested beat 1 million votes no so it was unprecedented by the time anyway now you call parliament 2-3 months I'm sure say oh Ghana from them here matom color TV akofa black and white never and then it is saying so Bibeka say on the goodwill and then no goodwill is important. But you see, I grow a beswa if you're not pa. And I dare not say a chiano and shall say Anthony in Temoa.
And you know, to maintain any
bill. And I'm a moon, oh, Muma and this fool. Ubuama, my Ghana. Say, be uncle ye, there's a goodwill to me and cat. A baby no. What trainer, ne and ye. Tina media me fisa near, Ubia behuna enko ye no. O man in pina no. Ni nyina hu se da meka no o man no ye nyina ye man ye man nyina anye ye nso a se bo a ebebogu ye nyina yiti so
right minim say ye to abawie na aban foforo ba transition ekoso kwan ye fa so ye transition no ohuni se emra so se ye sakra mu kakra na because ye transition ni wi a aban a wo fra kunwa so ma aban wo betena kunwa so hu ABCD enkrofo dodo aye for modwumam ni asumasi no serve wo ha bibia ye ma ban na ehu but aban yi ba ye still no aguso eyi amamfo adi wo yi amamfo adi does it mean say transition time no ya no man kom yi anade na ye ba
oh well me de e fene say wo mo aban so wo yi wo mo adi no elmini ade no e hadwen obi ya fa na dwuma mu wo say oyinedi ye womra wo memu emra no wo hwe ye mra wo say I'm talking about Article 191 wo say a member of the public service shall not be dismissed or removed from office or reduced in rank or otherwise punished without a just cause. Just cause ni say obi ye abanye dwuma waya de bia emfa kwam ya teba asonfo ya hwehwem ade na bono wo yi na dia
ne kwan so ano
no obi ye adwuma as a public servant now aba wo so akoyi ni pakone dia look I'm telling you mark it on the wall when 3-4 years from now the judgment debtor mema Ghana bayetua
Ghana betua judgment debt
absolutely no more court na ewo ho no very soon a lot of them are going to join ranks e wa bi ense wa pack court no with nkrofo a we assembly kokran boy bi on follow up in due time in the fullness of time was afina me be kemasem he be bo o my Ghana ka for nothing omo yi omo no so no wo say replace omo a obi ani mi say wo pese wo do nkrofo ko hye wonti na wo yesa are you doing justice to omo a omo kono say omo dem Ghana for ana and that is my fear say yenhwe ho ni ye say omo a ya fa omo in the public service no mo mra say untimi yinadi that's what so me hu say onkrofo boni enwu otiase boni enwu this will commit any crime against any individual so let's say what do call court na ebia why processes na wi wan follow up asem no mu wo mo betima ko fa ba ndi me e ho ne me fear say yenhwe niam yi because this country doesn't belong to just one party, it belongs to all of us.
Right, yanko atemu admanum kakra ne yɛhwɛ the position of the AG. Yɛto abawie na AG no started say or drop cases to me NDC for year involved. Enti Sedu Agongo enu opuni de or drop ye Siama de or drop ye or drop ye recent one Dr. Kwabena Dufo banks ahodwa e gu ye na by the discussion mu still a call form na by the kika boom and as someone what can they say Dr. Kwabena Dufo 60% of a car na what no e dia state in intino what drop case no in san ho be na etwa dia mayen.
Well, Dr. Dufo the assembly call court now say onifo onye boni a call a trino onwa afi me fan say the court for because a plea bargaining ebemu say I magiatum na metua sika no ye ma nemre ena wo se mo baye wetua wo hanche mu adusia wo hanche mu adusia na wetua no aka wo hanche mu aduanan eno mpo no enziwo meka hu e ka no abotene ena wo se wetua 60%. Wetua 60% no 40% no ye ne den wo le che no mani sika no ye de ache no Dr. Dufo oye mi wo fapani o sa e mashareba ndi asemi bo ha wo kan ya na
dua batabo
na ne kan ye kana so asem no ho mpani se de ade no hye no so afa nhye wa efito ndi ho de meka se atene general wa nya de menani adwen because see aya esa wo twa to ho no ifa se obi kobo krono na akofa 80 million akofa 100 million na wo ho so ai ade no onse me fa na nka me de koye wi na anye yi ade na me discount kura koye na cabin ni me fa 100 million de na me tua 60 million so why with the 60 million abadia and asem ya drop no. Where does this happen?
That means they be pave way for volcanic looting e wo my Ghana
man am fa na we see nsusu so de bre o man no nye o nsusu so de bre o man no enye yedi o man ne hye wonsa president mahama yedi o man ne hye wonsa no o man yimra hye yemra pon ese de o man hye wonsa yihia ne ma miensa that you deepen the liberties of Ghanaian. In other words, you entrench the rule of law. The constitution and it's the very preamble of your constitution. Say, also the system of governance, deep in the rule of law.
Mrabe
Juma. What you say? To you say the Omamranye Enyejuma. Like you say, no, what tumra? O mino the constitution is share ones are wouldn't say so the constitution be ye juma and pa ewia ene enwumrani anajo nsuo mu o pebre mu wodi be ye juma no ye hwe ne trodo pa constitution na so ya wushaye no mpo wabu nsuaye no so what you say it is a very serious development na eba no and ye hwe yi
now say NDC for be justify say age no constitution man ho kwan say obe discontinue case oni interest wo mti no o munhu ba bia age no afom
constitution no emma attorney general
article 88 of the constitution.
Yes
okay
emma no emma attorney general discretionary power so to continue or not to continue any case until you see enye ho no enkwana obe justify the attorney general na ye. You must rather look at article 296 or 296 and say where in this constitution or in any other law discretionary power is vested in any person or authority, that discretionary power shall be deemed to imply a duty to be fair and candid. To be fair and candid. Is it fair? Is he being candid with Ghanaians? And yes, 88 is more discretionary power. But 296 no say, you have discretionary power. In the exercise of the discretionary power, no, you must be fair and candid. Are you being fair to Ghanaians? Sesebio, me reduce to common terms. Ubi for manisika 100 million. Uso be 60 million to diakano. What you know, man, and no mudia channel. Are you being fair? Are you being candid with Ghanaians? And it's something that we should be careful about. In fact, the B says that the exercise of the discretionary power shall not be arbitrary. Now we hear the arbitrariness, and it shall not be capricious or biased. Are you being biased in favor of your NDC compatriots? No, Attorney General Nankasa, I say, we also soon fidie at the man. And as far as I'm concerned, Dr. Dominic Ayini, a former compatriot, a former colleague in Parliament, may have some respect for him, some regard for him. But I think on this occasion, I don't agree with him. I don't agree at all with him. He's in violent breach of Article 296.
Quickly, one work across out is Kevin Taylor bench warrant one so because a bamraso was yamra pa na watimi free US abagana one watimi anante akwa court ama Supreme Court akwashe contempt case no any bench warrant one so one work across in the sense that Emra Ofi Abrochiri see Ghana as a no. The warrant was in operation. The court warrant was in operation. And he said, Ansa nanka court no krabe kwashe asemno. What it means is that Kawasan go see because of the fact that na asemno yani ko munintino. I was saying immediately mocheno. Omochini wie na ose bia warrant na ye dia tumi so no. Enye justified. And a koko P Supreme Court na omoso ene from say owo aban kukum no ye nyai no. That's another matter. That's another matter. But where there wonu abesi court no ankasa a Supreme Court near part of and a apex court no. And one ananti kim from the airport baby or call ye abaho na court no say lower court no there no ye trim. Again, it's a dangerous precedent that they have set. The justification for question no and also another matter cry. Because I'm more can say that time judge now what Kevin Taylor so issue bench warrant one man a fair hearing and a contempt when a cheat. And this one man a fair hearing cry and a different case altogether.
If anything, AsaasePa Nansing, me a majority leader. Parliament Assembly maker. Because in that regard, the Parliament, ne pretty say a quasi judicial body. Emra, a speaker, a bonko for bidding say a Parliament. In TM for Monko, a friend saying, your committee, a share, say, Obima quarter, Obima Parliament. You refer the conduct need to know. The Privileges Committee. Some fair ayi minu akuma me wofase adwa safo adwa e share time meba o ma menom bekasa menom nkasa e ma mo tena ho no wo mo ebugu se adwa amade ya ase wo mo ankasa committee ko disrespected committee no okay opportunity am de man no so abuse so na tie dia ye tugina ye sigina ye sisi what you say we must say ultimately but I'm just relating to conclusions a committee ni make ye. A fro na say wa bruche ntino ye ntimi ma ho mesebo so bia kwani bebia to kura wo shemu
yeah
nti I publish it in the judicial process no say publish it wonye wa make hu available ne publish ya maybe ni bibia residence wo e Ghana ha na woni ho betimi dia de no kura betetare ho. So now I say a save, but where the organ ha no ni baby otie na ode kwa abrochire na ho no onni face address bia no kasa ko hwe no untimi crime figure na aso ko say bi abrochire without involving Interpol. And it became difficult. And they publish it. And they respond to it. One respond. That's a court, no? So I make a determination. Supreme Court because I'm on a fair hearing. I strange. As far as I'm concerned, a strange rationalization. And Supreme Court, no, right. I'm happy one of them stood out, say, and I'm happy, say, a lot of learned people in the country are associated with the dissenting judge. So, however, the Supreme Court is the Supreme Court. Majority decision in the whole do. For the time being,
right. The course in the case of Kevin Taylor, a president be a wohose OSP declare Ken Ofuriata or the red alert tone so no. It means that time you baby no ye bit me action wo mu ruling ya by a kwashe OSP red alert what they told Kevin Taylor Ken Ofuriata no so na.
Well, me 107.3 the minim kwanya a special prosecutor FI say what the red alert ato Ofuriata so declare wanted so no kan in plain language. The Attorney General no functions no kakra ni apone diama OSP no. The Attorney General doesn't have that right. So be declare be wanted.
Attorney General need to me so be declare be wanted. Now a subsidiary of Attorney General now so would declare be wanted. Attorney General person declare be wanted. I just or invoke the authority of the courts. Did make us say OSP no minimara say chire you kofa chire eko hu quarter. That one I'm not aware of any such thing, but the Obekan initially in India he didn't involve the courts or one Obekan, and I disagree with him. Say embrano for the OSP no beka hu yitintimie oni sa akwan oni sa 2 minutes obey sade no. That is all that I can say for now about that. Right. Well, I was saying, AsaasePa 107.3. Yeah, transmitting live from Cantonment and addition what takwa etienka Mining City FM 98.5. So and etienka. No honorable Osei Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu, former MP for Swami, former Majority Leader, former Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, a native of Bremain Afrancho. And the producers a native of the Bremain Afrancho. On the paina, you know, 18 come on. Now, Yamra Fiana, Yenny Fian come on, Yenny Fiasem, son of Betty Tremino, Yana, ya, one cabia, and yet. It was another song, was it Zufasem? But he said, come for 1 year, Sucrono, Monochronobois, or Timubi, dear to the Bia, as ye can be, but send ye a quadia, a pa. Abai NPP, no matter saying so far.
Oh, kakra. Iguswa. Inya, yi inkugo de ya wo. Nti se uko akansi na ukohwie oni megu a. Na ye yetime ba. Because yi anyentofo bi na eto no nyom no se Oka kutima na ema echiro kaka.
Leader Fachame, me pacho takwa 89.5 Mining City Radio 89.5. Meda say nana mamintio.
Yes, enti se yakohwie ni emegu. Enti yenkwa naju. Na ese nkwanju a anusini bia so ekebihwe so nti amaniema IBC basa kakra basa ne tie 1993 yeto abawie sanme na procedure bo hene ne die ni mu yeto abawie no yentimi anko osu abankesiem.
Okay.
Nanso enumpo no na NPP for no ye koso kan so ye di nkunim na President Rollins amre ne se wo chinchim yensa agi efiensem ena ma ye kɔtwero ne friend stolen verdict what you say na numpo no a na yen yese ye di nkunim no 1993 no na manfo sha se edubu ahen yese wanya ade ntini e blame no wo mu a ye kɔto aba 1996 ne ye di ma President Kofo ba ye a ono so de kɔbɔ so anye yie no hey Kofo nko jama edubu ahen komprenu anka ntini se nke yie anye yie ani ye de President Kofo ye ko 1998 e sande tumi no ma no so nyina e ko ni emfa ye nkosa 2000 nyame ene amanfo adwumaden ye o parliament amanfo so mo abontin so mu no ye mai 2001 tumi ni ba ye ho e ba President Kofo 2008 anado ene bidi President Kofo anan obesi na nan obedi na de ye ko ye na anye yi no o mu say ilusu kakra bi by 10 results and so yan fa na do ho anje no Akufo do na ye wontimi mu ayen because President Kofo Krambo de anye yi no one for say ase ka kire mu 1996 ye ka sa santini bi entimi nye president na santifo no nhihye yi mu no ni say santini bi atumi bro tumfo de so enti na Kofo ntimi anwene na wontimi nwene nyame nhihye yi mu no 2000 ye sana make us Akufo do nso de e baaye e koyeye 2012 even though and also you're very close there some crack Supreme Court as a hwe emra no ankasa letter commission no ade ma yen na wo senka ade na ejima yen no ya anya ma NPP4 eno achi kra de sie ni nyina achi no Akufo do onti me mampani da 2016 ya me adum ne tumi baaye enti 2024 Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia so ebedi na de a eno so yakohwie egu eno eni titru kra anse eno kreni no nkuguo no ne moden nti se amanfo de yeye kakra ba party ni mu a eye normal
enye news bia
enye news na me de mesre ni se kasa no aye kan ene yenhwe ni yi yenunu ye ho benunu ye ho na mum kasa no na to bia na ano aye hyedodo so na ne nkugo yi ba ye nso no nhwemu aye ya ye nyina no ne ye no Ashanti region ne Professor Okwei dia o ye national any private foundation bi dia amaye ne nyina kire ye nse kasa efini pani bia num ba ye efa contestants no ho titru ne call Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia so efiri ye NPP fo no e ka ho bi ne ma aba no ye lusu ye nti ho se ye nsua ye nye sua hu bi omu na e sha asie sa ne ma no san ba menu ya ye hwe ne mai
but leader party NPP e womra ekuo bi a na ye de mra e na chichiri kuo no enti so betena kuo num na mra no ontimi ni so a e ye twen e na wotwen ho menim sa political parties amanfo kra hia dodo na enti se atiasefo and by elections are a numbers any the winning elections but party emra no aye toothless ana entimi invite panyifo ntimi stamp authority because am aye nhwehwemu de ma NPP lose ye 2024 general elections make us abysmal performance na de na edi muntintimam no kase ye ya no kasa in the party and one the kum yen ya na ton ye ho na ya wu ya edenti na asen apagya leaders muntimi stamp authority wa party no.
First of all, me nkase ebia eno de makan no ebia na ye urempimu asiedu ewomu so we say ni edi mutintimai I'm not in a position to say that they make me can say eno kan ho bi
okay
enema ye lusu ye na obi say na party no ebia ye duri no adenti na party no mumpenifo no omuntimi infa mo nan sifom ade bi ho a sha ase kakra no phone wa amfa nsuo ngusu ntemu a obehwe no na beye ayi efene saying ade a untimi ehwe madam fo bi na ebu ni be bi na some say no si kan no de mintimi nka no radio so na mo metimi dia fanchen be bia ka no to achieve the same purpose yisa madam no minia pani ne friend no cranche ono no ye obey first MP for Asante Achem South na ne be no ye anabo ko fifrempon ede tena ko fifrempon former member for Kwabre ye de dentino no tabu sa be no na me de se da me kan mintimi mu be no amu no me fa ba bi no wo se mo na mamu asoso nsuwa eso amana ye asukesi aye ntimi hwe so ade no e sha ase na wansia no ntema ekuro kakra bi no be na peni bo se na be nkuda afi chese wu ntimi miambu na waka se ekuro no wukum no so nti me se ne yake ye de ebetumi aka ho asem so na ye wo mpenimfo na me kan ye se wo mo adi party na nkasa sha wo nsa ye kan ye wo party chairman your party general secretary party the elected officers they are the implementers of the constitution of the party your council of elders so your mpenimfo mabesin call like former president Kufuor former president Kufuor maybe embrace say there can be a colloquium involving Sankrofui
or Fanny Brofo. They can be there.
What was Sankrofui?
Well, they come from now. NPP for NTSC. You want to bring
Sankrofui no kabumu na ye mubi. Me say me need official position.
Okay.
In the party. But having served as minority leader, having served as majority leader for the longest period in the history of this party, no. So be anyi bibia no hunu ebi asa na mani do na etu ensa fra so bitima kwakire wadwen wo ho. And we need the intervention of some penimfui na nia touch man yentimi nka ho tenten no because unfortunately for us almost say omukura party ni mu no omo emfie mu no omo nko ni mu sa even party ni mu no omo nko ni mu sa to tore bia wo ho ko papa ni mu na ko kansa ma papa no anye ni yekura asem no kan na
ayediama
sa na mehu no nti yenhwe se nyame boa mentie ne se president Kufuor no mu ni ha bia mo ba the first thing that they may have to do is to involve some people including the council of elders for ewo na bia me niema ba ko mienu bia akoso no before them no I have not been happy even with the council of elders
and then of course so a council of elders so no manya
do mpacho and the party ni mo asema members be kana fidie so
okay
so it was a timi sisi sansem no na bibia timi twaye mayen there's a long way to go fortunately for us they say more than 3.5 years ahead of us and yes enema ese no enye bane mum no yes esi this time timi esi ni move together as one big family. 2028 shouldn't be too difficult. I would say 2028 is a better opportunity for us than 2024 to win back power. And then you say bit me no kre aye adwuma. So bit me no kre aye adwuma wo ye kunu mu. Ne bibia wo say etimi siesie no na fe reconciliation ni na etimi yes anima no. Na ye nia enkuruchire enema bia ewo ekwan mu no etimi yifiri ho.
Okay.
Na etimi face the common opponent together, which is why nia ekosui say won say person mo ye early conference
you remember
is a baby ma yetimi yi sa ne manefi won yetimi move forward
right. Shanos mama say ha AsaasePa 107.3 Atumpan dwumadi ni honorable Osei Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu na ye no aiding komo mining city radio 89.5 for takwa. Shanos mama bio say aka 1233 days na yesi akoto aba Ghana 1233 days otia obeka say wa enwa 4 years and cheriba and 2 NPP ni a enu ame bonwum bi ejaba ne de ne papa te ase ohene ba ne de ne papa
teacher in Africa
etiase and is a party no power na oni position kura no a eye chen say party no opposition wada ne jankaba ye kone ne awofo kwa untimi nkobi ya hweye Leader, quickly, may you share National Delegate Conference a course no. Did kind send a jumadi in the course where to saying?
Oh, like I say, in terms of its organization, it was one of the best organized in the history of NPP. Say, Nyamia conferences I attended. The only part Anshasi was time when Modema is a Beshasi. By 9:30, it's 9:30 near Shasi. Actually, no, so even though they had put there 9:30, no, Mzenka 10 a bit much. It didn't start at 9:30. And Shasi nundu apemu, and nundu. Shasi na duminu abo, which was not the best. However, almost Shasi in the program Nankasadi, I think it went well. And my year one. My bibia timi a course in na year. Say program involved chairman welcoming us, Omaya Kwaba, Nafi, general secretary, and so the state of the party or the by treasurer, Yakunte Buasem, and then Penifua and also Mokasa, immediate past president, Nanado Dankwe Kufuado, President Kufuor, and the former vice president, and also the immediate past flag bearer. On would any Maya, a dear Kokon. You know, Ango Yamaye. But party no ako da among for us over various regions. This is the first time na I'm said Dominion be share baby back. Indeed, it was an occasion I'm so no bekan as we no jiri say was with me see from the fiscally or sanda or mercy. And which them say who send some kakra but me mum de na me hu ni sa. Yeah,
Canada or Japan camp or mobile out openly. Kwesi kwati mobile out to the two just say the course on the National Delegates Conference, you know, mo say mo de be projected one candidate. A man for say you need a nomination and two candidate.
Who is the candidate? No, it's something you can make out also. Who is the candidate? You be a nomination, you be a nomination, and I'll be your candidate. China and Yamia Adma council echo in Shemu. And Shemu Nasino among a day schedule beba. Or maybe I'm the schedule beba. Sebia, a Dassi in be nomination. Maybe a home sikam, the betuja, and a whole lot of things. The process is never started. And no chi Ukofa forms, you are not a candidate. You may be a potential candidate because not until say was submitting nominations. Na ebia as is usually done. Be fa vetting committee ne be we was me aka say ya approve no. Utimi gina bie no. Until you cross that Rubicon, onye candidate, onye aspirant. What I say? And for now there's no aspirant. And I make us say nipa no. You see, first of all, not presidents in ho. Past presidents in ho. Only in terms of the executive there, only most high profile. I'm saying that Kasa the man Kasa, you know, and yet only in his capacity as immediate past vice president, and his capacity more so as the immediate past flag bearer. And the man Kasa, go back. Maybe immediate past presidents, you call annual delegates conference,
Omokasa.
So what was wrong with this? And we thank you to Nipanaba. Was it now let me say sir I didn't know as far as I'm aware it was not part of the program. It was instantaneous. Yes, it was not the program. No, there was no such thing.
Staged.
There was no such thing. No, I'm saying applause or kasanu nya you know. No, yesterday I should acknowledge the applause and go for Ediamami. And we see a or church or moda or masi. Better say. We say it was staged by the party hierarchy. Not that I know of. And we so it was choreographed. And was will be or no crab baby no tea. Obano and we'll be catching so on sorry. In here. We are traditional people. What you say? Sabi, uko ijabasi. Na ebia anase eyiye bi mpo ne bia wokɔ no wote wohwɛ wo phone so ne say ohini bia eba o chia so phone so kra na hwe because ohini we na be so no ohini na eba the person is not forcing you was it bia fa ni die ma de ni die so na wo say won pa wo be kasa won sore no bia nti mechewo what you say but in deference to traditional authority ntina bia be sore what you say mampani say a official functioner when he's coming obe sorry and your official functioner na say mampani banasa officer won sorry obi wet be force to say elu gina ho however e bia wo be bi ye bon national anthem there in respect of the national emblem no of our heritage you know and they also sorry and they one sorry obi kura hu because we are mamofo what I say and that is what and the president representing the symbol of the country and the first gentleman of state and I said the first citizen of state you know on oba it is any you know e de man what I say membeni beto a yase say yase no beto e na wo twam na wo say won sorry a and obi enti menya wo hwie but say your official function there and here wetimi asori enti minia ho no ne meka oh say ni say na meka say I think the program no there it was well executed na kasa e call no so by from Kufuado, President Kufuor, and Onoha Bawumia no, they were all very inspiring. Shane Crane say yen she sapomunsu. I think nobody now or many people who are you know opposed to his candidacy, you know, they're not even talking about Asamoah Bekai. And I say we no kujina ho church and it would be say senior journalist be kura kujina say it was choreographed and Argentina if anything mampani wakodu yede mano na wadi nkuguo poto sa no oko I was wondering because knows anybody NPP ni or party fufuro everybody knows we're sympathetic to NDC John Mahama Kufuor twan 1 million no twan 1 million something it was unprecedented sa journalist no ko baby say John Mahama I put on timo thank you to John Mahama in 2017 oko thank you to oko da ne nkrofo ase say nipa koda na wo ka say Bawumia e de odi nkugu put on this oko da ase no when John Mahama did one condemn
and obi di ntwa wo na ase omo de omo do wo amoto aba ma wo eso come na so na me Kristo ni say me Bible say papa mu oboni mu e fa se dem emenyame enti sa inipa wu a yenkwa so dem enkoye Thanksgiving service what of that right papa me basasi a me nyampon ye anyumo me bo a na chese mapon but me bon no na magina so na yedi nkomo bi ti enne June 24 July 24 2025 to 31st January 2026 at NPP as settle say on the presidential primaries saying as a party no etu sa kwan no 107.3 nja me bon no ebe cheche pa I know because yen start your control no kra cheche bam
tina the party no say yen ko yade ntem no me no mo ya adwen no first inipa ni bisi o ni senke yen on ntem enim ni ade na
say bi mo say omoma ample time na omo nton omo ho no omo so ntimi nkonton omo ho enchire die nti ompeso mo lead party no but it seems say Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia wodi kian ton ho no ato constituencies ni nyina no ye ne 31st January 2026 a ne ye ma no it's like onu an ye pese ye de ne ko
I don't agree. Party no your constitution. The constitution is the same. The constitution in Article 13 no can be. Or say, the election of the presidential candidate shall be held not later than 24 months from the date of the national election. Right? Or say, ye tuaba ewie na se ye ni yedi nkugua. If it time ebe tuaba ewie declare results no kopim mfie mienu ansa na beto aba no So what it means is that if I say you swear in a new president, you swear in president from on January 7th. Well, party constitution say right from January 8th, it could see next year, December 6th, with me at Tuaba, you presidential candidate. The framers of the constitution, no, and our minds are the say Tuaba no say Tuaba no June of this year. In tier constitution also, in tier so. O constitution the mouse are quite. I mean, you so some any penny be as you can yati be paying. Yati be paying. And he's saying 1992, you're 2 abani we na. Some do boy in the day anymore. A bad 1983, no. And a year so you could trouble for. Any penny be can say, some no party in benefit be can say, oh, na yen ya trouble baby. Yen be before. You see a dinkunim with a duboy. And until the Yakoso Akotro a stolen verdict, say a dinkunim na run as the Jimmy and Sarge. Oh, my way. Dimpany for the because say, Sasama Yakan, a jitum say a dinkunim and Padia. A duboy, a winning my and dear, why change a winner? To now more proposes say, Sasana Sasama Yakan, a GD and Fred Duboy in Kobu. It's like, so it's also a winning. Yeah. More or less, or your president. Yeah. In your children's idea. And to me, as a president, for it's not or honor. And Memuno, say as uncle is an Yakas one and Sanko. A good word or honor, Yamubian contest, yes, one and Sanko. Sassam and Penifuni becomes Ambreno. And he becomes a cast baby. To the extent, say in Nicasa already. Ultimately, he lose you. And Janko Trabana. And yes, only between 1993, Yanto. Sasa me awoka ni sasa mkona na nkrofo nipa ni bishas ye o ye kase ye kotoba ni sese ye dubu ahin benya unfair advantage over the others ndi emfa ko 1994 no yan toaba no sa arguments na nkrofo san yes 2 years near too early na he attended to the structures of the party, a whole lot of things. 1994 yan to ne ko ba so ye between 95 no mpo yan toaba no. The same as you, and I will say it. There was a gang up of one more money do by him contest in years. They be me and Premier going in them, and he got 1996 abano 1996 election no. We time I two primaries no presidential primaries. You told in March Easter. Election year ne got which then produced President Kufuor, candidate Kufuor as a presidential candidate. We had barely 8 months.
How do you market the candidate? And you got to Abanwa. You 61 MPs in Parliament. President Kufuor Nankasa didn't make it. Until about Parliament 1997, no. July, na yebe muso. And it is so na President Kufuor go be sharing candidate Kufuor at the time, but time no time wa memu ama yanene nshia. And about the third meeting no, we started in October. And President Kufuor be sharing on Jake on be sharing and Christ the King MPs no. Share and the President Kufuor the between and candidate Kufuor the between him say ya no ye ntimi anto abanentem nti menya time amobo me ho yi. That's the reality. Nti obesrese parliamentary group no ne nya adwen na prime minister this time me koto nentem Krachi ya me boni din Kranchi Alex Kwaku Kranchi Asante Achim South MP. No, some men no answer never Parliament. One no Ashanti Regional Secretary. Na Kranchi bisa question say Mr. Kufuor, what can one more 1993 na mo say do he benya unfair advantage. Inti ho no ma ye nto aba nentem. Ya nto 93, ya nto 94, 95, 96 na ekoto ye. Ndiye de ne de. Osia sesa wan.
Wo wa basese. The President Kufuor ne yi sa asem no. It was Jake Obichebilamte who was the campaign manager of President Kufuor. Jake ne yi sasa no na sasa no Jake kan no say nyansa sem na Jake kan no ebubu obi apre ase yanom mo yen kan no kure say yen nyina ye kan ho na sa de ne see but we must own up say it was a big mistake and for so ne nti yen sua bibi mfini and for so ye no na yen move forward because 2000 represents the best opportunity for us to win. The party agreed. And once I say October, and when the party then agreed, now I feel also set a time. And then my call Sunyani Congress in October, in August, was it August or September 1998? The call Sunyani Kotuabano. What you say? And Sani see indeed. Ever since now, I say no. You talk about we are from the first day. So your core position there from the first day until not later than 2 years. Emubia na yenko to abano. Enti ne ye hunu painti, ese ye hunu mprenu. Enti ne ma ye sade no. Enti minia, it is not in breach of the constitution. And I say there's been a precedent. Aba. In any event, asem we kura ba ye mpo no. On say ye call councillor decision e ba ye no. And you know almost say on person be pray. Mu ba ko ne kofa so ade no. Yenye a conference intem ne yenye a primary intem.
Omo argue sa omo answer the proposal say yenye intem.
Ba ko ne proposal ye. What the proposals miensa and a buy. Say yenye sa early congress. Now I think the second one was say a expansion. So na fi so no omo ombegina no. On say party no constitution here say kenso ne somra 5.
Yeah.
Kinipa no do so enso ne somra 5. And also say 5 no yentungu. Baba ko this proposals na buy. Me say you have been adopted. Oh, I feel like we baby no ka say I didn't know e mo we advantage mentiase. But having said that, maka just say constitution no e ma kwa me ye. E to so mi no esipen. E to so mi ensa no. E bi na se na wo Kenya wo bonwum say ya hwe ya ade ne be from be true. Wan hwe ya e ka se ye twi. Se ne ye ko so yi. Wo ka se wo di uyi se onyi ade no January. Wo dey call June next year. That is 1 year or so from now, or December 1.5 years from now. It gives a party no party
Najija.
It's what you say sadia. Na say council na could decide say yenya ade sa. And in the party's constitution, you know, it's only the National Council and a set date, you know. Now after the date had been set, some people were even saying, conference na yenkutungu. I'm say party in the constitution ni ba bebre. Womu enfama bi insisu yi. It's only the council and they take a decision. Ne annual delegates conference. Even though the annual delegates conference is the highest decision making body, no. Nye ensemina na omo ye determine ma womo. It's like say omemu Supreme Court and the Apex Court.
Yeah.
Mewa. But the constitution say ye to aba elections related offenses. You say what they call High Court. High Court need D. Let's be say one thing who say appeal court neko. It ends at the appeal court and it doesn't travel to the Supreme Court. What you say? Sunday constitution actually as far as the date sa conference no ne primaries near concern no is the council that sets the date. But having said that, me say me dey anim no enya de kase bia. You see young company will be the cool name. I don't know because maybe so. Obviously, define who the presidential candidate of NPP should be. I was surprised. So, any pano, you say, friends, I could see TB or something. And I say, why? I could see BB. No, I could see T. I could see quatting.
Spokesperson, my Canadian job.
Yes,
was in former Pierrot, Minister of Education.
Was in your define who the MPP's candidate should be. I mean, yet too sure say any part of MPP ni.
Why?
Because I'm defining. Your friend is saying who should be the party's candidate. Me call two. Minia. Me call two. MPP Constitution. MPP Constitution is saying Article 30 I can Article 13 clause 7 or say no member as a member of the party shall be entitled to nomination as a party's presidential candidate unless he or she is a known and active member of at least 5 years. Also anye bi kura no party no be modi mfie no.
No say active.
No say active 5 years. So call vice presidential candidate. Sa ne man wo ho. But say vice there. Sa known and active member for 5 years no. Itimi tugu. Council itimi bo itimi suspend this side now. So a man. But presidential candidate or say NDA council itimi it will be a presidential candidate at least what was say for a minimum of 5 years. The second one was say that person should be of good character. I don't know, sorry. And then make us say, your constitution, your Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu.
I said, Nisubaye.
I said, Wusu and Obanye. I didn't hear. Because, so be a presidential candidate, you are a role model for the party. By your president, now be a president, and so you are going to be a role model for the entire country. And then our party constitution said that person should be of good character. Article 13, 1, clause 1, subclause 7.
Okay.
And then the other one was that person should be of good standing. Good standing is saying, we are part of the constitution anymore. Good standing means, say, Abia, what we are with dues. You see, levies be a constituency, be pursue levy be what we are. Now, you uphold the good name of the party, and yes, you are in good standing. With party constitution, and me say, yeah, Sani man. So, kind national constitution, there, national constitution is name me the become. Was say at least also didn't fear you 9. Yeah, constitution and cancer has no. In the nano amendment in Bono. Now, me see, in fact, the national constitution, yeah, import to animation say before you become the presidential candidate, no, you ought to satisfy the national constitution provision. I will say also yeah, at least 40 years. No?
Yeah.
The other one was say you should otherwise qualify to be a member of parliament. And also any national constitution, in the amendment here, may the shame was saying, "Can find no emekan." What you say? Minia, Sase na mekan. No mekan. Constitution, national constitution, the party constitution. Am I the person defining who the party's presidential candidate? It is the party's constitution. The second one kind of party constitution now. Don't tell me something I may define it. It's a party's constitution. So what kind of party constitution? What your NPP need pa? And what kind of party constitution now? Will be repeated. I also want to say. And then you go about insulting the person. Me, I don't engage in those things. Sabe penny for say. We are in a bodemini you near ma for the janko and could I don't engage in that sad dirty politics. No. State the issue. And when you say, you're tiny assembly and tiny part. What you say? As an American also, I can read Japan as an American. So what did I can read Japan?
Who called to Article 13, Clause 1 noir. I say as a nipa or person to franca ma NPP as a nisu and in the buy ya no one.
Many yeah can't say means no. On say Messiah can be crutchful. You can be true say your national constitution no. The national constitution no say your money is shown sir. The very preamble of the constitution no was what me establish a governance sir. And never means an adweba. And I make us say I was saying get this side and the judge President Mahamudu.
Yeah.
I will say we ensure the rule of law. You should deepen the liberties of Ghanaians. The rule of law. The second one was say you should create equal opportunities for all the citizens of this country. The third one was say you should manage the economy in such a manner say I ensure prosperity for all Ghanaians. Three things.
Yeah.
Rule of law, equal opportunities, ensuring that citizens, the economy is managed in such a way say they will attain or they be afforded prosperity. Nti eno na make say wo kasa ni man also there are criteria to be assessing the background. Be any background the competence. Bakono ni vision. And this what they who about governance not to say. On one competence. On one sabi on intelligence.
Say
the intelligence, the experience, the track record in governance. Also, American presidents. It's not for nothing. And over 95% of American presidents are either congressmen or governors. What do you say? Because what's share or memo and right the boom mine or until on say debate as well and right by what we are kind of say. That's how they measure warm or microphone. Didn't make say has any money the vision, the integrity of the person, if you're by muno or bar or manji muno be a ultimate chabi bin tarren say sabi 7 periods or corrupt and it bibisa. The intelligence, the vision, the competence of the person. They can't women make us so many woman. Everybody satisfied the qualification and eligibility criteria. I can't answer that. What you say? Name beyond that, no. Oh, share a governance, no. Dear, me say, candidate Bawumia. Because you see, will be the full complement of those of them who even becoming. But candidate Bawumia, me who say, or stand tall above all others. You remember 2008, President Kufuor Awuah. Some people doing some by some person who succeed President Kufuor. You over penny, Quampianim, Nako Jumpian, Quampian, or Kasimbi, okay.
There be Kaimeka.
Quampianim ne can't say NPP 4. They shouldn't just look for a flag bearer. They should look for a presidential candidate. Ultimately, with my be president.
Okay.
Now, as for flag bearer, dear, and you're an American, said you know any ferry. Quampianim can say, as for flag bearer, any idiot can become a flag bearer. But NPP for Munche beyond the flag bearer. Now, Munche ni pakono also qualities. The news wadi hunye the managers with me buni ye ama ye nyina ye ni agye ama MPP ho abeya kono say now can say MPP should be the natural choice of Ghanaians ye ni me year because the ideology no and never satisfy Ghanaians and the ideology of today and yes socialism ewu
okay
enti ye ni me year you bet my partner is very attractive ebeye the party of choice. And na me make say the Quampianim kai no. You reflect on Asaase. Minia. Asemini. Leader ko che ya na ye jai
ye so pa o. Leader obeka say we a role model e wo NPP mu do say unkita national position bia and unkita national position awo ho kwan so obekire nipa ususu say party needed ba ebeboa because ye kan crofo masomo party num ache ye pa yentimi nyu ensinchen but man for so this issue of we role model no adenti a won twen na nipa bi a delegates ne be settle on no mon ko market nipa no na mum o frontier obi say asumasi we na me hu ni say ese de ne ko
minia oka baby amakodru menye mampani my minority leader my majority leader but menye mampani. In 2008, the popular rumor was that the president at the time was supporting candidates in back. True or false?
Did
anybody condemn the then president? Did anybody condemn the then president? So be uncondemned no because we nipa baby I know no na ebia onim nipa no a no more prene chain mu bi no nti people thought to say okay ebia o my in direction say bia ha na beboa. Nobody insulted President Kufuor. What do you say? He was the de facto leader of the party as the president. Say Bonohene chire party for no ntie no enrai amanfo bi e ka say Kufuor donso Bonohene chire party for. Nobody insulted Kufuor because omo nim say ono so no bia ote no ohunu nipa ebia ono ogiri se betimi aboa saa me no ogiri se betimi aboa nti bia obo na ni kire enkrofo me amemete yi I was very close to Akufo-Addo me Akufo-Addo ne me yan kasa asem no se bia we na me support no nti bia du ha momwa no he never did anya kokoam nya abonten what you say ebia no ka kire obi ne pa konso ko di hu nkomo kire obi ba me de wanye saa nti me nka se Akufo-Addo yesa ba se Akufo-Addo yesa mpo na se nkrofo ankondemo no anidi na temu a na Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu de o ka se o nipa me hu o mi me so me no nyina na wo mra se begefui me de obi a to nsani ni so a me obi a muduro na me se we ne betumi aboa yen kese a me nua eno no enfonso ama yen eni sen enfonso a wo hu no eni sen 107.3 what you say enfonso a wo hu ne sen enti me feel say this may be the better thing for us today. But now me can't say me name the full complement of those of them who are coming. But the more I declare me say or not stand at all.
Okay. Because we assessment sankrofo now no my admo my image
and makofa beyond the qualification and eligibility criteria no. Me say yanko to look at the bigger issues. Who in terms of governance. So, the introduction or deepening of the rule of law, the creation of equal opportunities through policies and programs, and who can rev up the economy such that this nation would have prosperity for all citizens. Not what can constitution one can say today, or say of generations of today and for posterity. When beti bini shisha papa me boni de me kana se me bia metima kana ene ma ba ko mienu bia ene NDC for 107.3 omuka se mo ba ye city na stabilize ade na ma ya ma city na stabilize. If you trace it, it goes to say go for oil arrangement here or the buy go for oil arrangement now the buy ene ede a boba kum no ma be me na anan a boost to the stock of gold reserves or Bank of Ghana. Akufo-Addo or buy no beto ye na 7 metric tons of gold since independence. Go for oil no arrangement no adawroma. Akufo-Addo anado all free so no
31 metric tons
ye caught
reserve
e be see that and so adi hu no if ni papa ko ne buy sa de krono ano and am say more or less near butter arrangement ninti no yesika international reserves no ananki yidi koto fuela and na edondele reserves no all of a sudden after COVID I call about 5 billion from almost 10 billion tiba 5 billion within 2.5 years now some years so the call over 9 billion and nay see I can say our reserves close to 10 billion thanks to go for oil. Go for oil, yeah. I feel yeah attractive. Saying you'll be fancy. See, gold in your turn world market price. The Bank of Ghana. And I'm for the first time, 2022, your gold output now 2.5 million ounces. 2024, I feel now 4.2 million ounces. I mean, I be the largest gold producer in Africa.
Okay.
Sadia Bako, yedi mayin. Ama ene. Sikano and ama isika stabilize ni na ye sika na wo reserves na every now and then na Bank of Ghana ne abano e de kakra gum and I hold you no because in the chiba no mo yedu the reserves no was gold reserves no was na international reserves no was international we na ye friend saying ye amount for complain once quickly na Bank of Ghana be can so ye were enough reserve
yeah.
Where did they start? And this is for policies being no more reserve. So all these things attributable to Onipa Bako, the ingenuity I'll introduce you and I'm busy. I hold you man. So I'm looking at the broad picture.
Okay.
And I'm saying way more. I should be Nipa na me when it is when you are. Ubia unqualified na. Nyame mpengu a child the betchen here say, oh, Dr. Babunyani, nobody should succeed him. Ya mempemu actually.
Options be brave.
Options be brave. Tibiana, only
option number 1.
Option number 1. There may be option number 2. There may be option number 3. Then because say, everybody satisfy the qualification and eligibility criteria. We must say be them qualify chebi. What you say? And the bad human anka say yanso a where they are. Be ya chebi. But if was in the pam you numpo ho if you na ba ko ho if you che ba ko. Okay.
Medals leader. But Joy FM so interview because some who can be say base no. We a grassroots chain. Ubia na say ubi me person me exact.
No.
And again who free swami as mrasebudwani no who just seat no ma NPP mrasebudwani but obisu e free ni seat so as MP no ujama NDC ni menim say sa pepe na waka no ana and sa na waka ya then the warranty sa
what I said was say anybody be so na me grassroots I'm say grassroots you be our connection with the grassroots. Now, me, I've been a continuous member for 7 terms. Sabi, only grassroots for better now. They will not maintain you. Me find nipa mienu na mini parliamentary. Omo na almost asable for longest period. Katie Amount. Oni Ken. Almost 6 terms. Ken anu ya no so ngo biu. Katie Amount de okoye na. Ene ma nko yi. Oti ase Katie ekoya nka ze nko ne me ebeye the same yi. Ko be ko na nko 7 terms. So uni mini partner. You can't go for 6 terms. What you say? Tell me, na me allude to. Na make us so me. And yes, you can't grassroots. Make us be me much more grassroots than even Kenya. On no call 6 on no free one. And now refer to Kennedy Japan. Say, grassroots. No, nobody has control, absolute control, and as a singular control over grassroots. Okay. Then you know any back on. And we am in Crawford. You see, at the time I was contesting. You may have people come behind you. But I'm on Crawford. I party in Crawford.
Okay.
What you say? The moment you start talking about Crawford, me saying, you see, now the divide be a party such that say me fan say one winning. If I couldn't hear there about winning. Or when you boy and say, you're quite bay more. Over here, I say, oh, where you Crawford, even the same party.
Yes,
it shouldn't happen that way.
Okay.
At this particular time, me, can make us a Michelle Munyana, Dr. Bawumia was no. Dr. Bawumia was no. We've been so for very good reason. If he's a baby, and yet Bawumia was no. Oh, Brian was no. What you say? For very good reason. Oh, Ken was no. For very good reason. Nya wunim wɔ nipa no ho no koka eto nkrofo asomua so what you say beto aba ma no
of course
de ya ne ha adwene say obi aka bi say we be say we ebebo ya je we no omo no nya adwene no on debate on the issue wa wo kan no na ya temdi eno no e de be ko hene
okay
eno e de be ko hene na wo yesa no ho so yesa no a na ewie a uniting the party no ye den no because you Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu did not mo mu did not na sabi me so me wadofo na se wo so dia wo ye no bi so ye bi kire wa e bia wo so ngri di Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu atem nipa na wo support no so mo so mo pe mo so pe na sem no so esa ne gu ono so abeka sen e the party ni be ko hin
right leader me enko
me ka say mo mayen tan asem mayen tan nipa only nipa nya adwea debate the person on the issues are raising
enye nipa no
insult no emfa yango baby
leader chewe mami early days but na maybe some question on na ye jaw
and the way and so we assess nipa no mo you call central and western regions assess nipa no mo we came to Ashanti no mekano enne ofidi yesu say me na me propose Dr. Mahamudu Dr. Matthew Prempe
Right, and one na me pese. But you say Ketrema Mpro also propose Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe. Early days.
Yeah.
In Yanko presidential primaries. This time, who will be fufro? Say Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia win and a while back wa be jina.
7.3.
So wa no asema mbisa ye no. What say you want no? What's the early days? This is no bisa question I
Leader.
So what's the bisa why you
know? I'm teacher. Me am set. My council holidays.
I want me jina. I don't know ye kono. Se si aminu nyina tia ye kasa yi. Me no tia ye kasa yi. Ye propose ye party no kra nka say we mu ye hopefuls.
Okay.
Omo ye nyina declaration of intent. What you say? E feature party no ko wi na omo de omo road map ba. And you be who say be a we neko ye wi a. What you say? Na say nipa no abe wi ne yakotro omo so abe wi no. Ni obenya no e na afi obeka say be a we me ye mabedi akire. Se mi wo asembi wo adwin bi kira. First of all, people should know say can I I'm not sure say anybody knows, maybe apart from being in I'm not sure say in politics we been in Japan journey. I'm not sure. So been can a chairman.
In politics,
nobody knows can I Japan than myself.
Okay.
Meaning what he can do, what he cannot do. If I say a trouble navy na winning. Because under the sun everything is possible. Na ebia that's how he is. Now we you call party office gra. O leader. Now my order Miss Mayode.
Oni ni asembia.
Na Miss Mayode. I will sorry I know I'm attack dogs. Say need the changes Bonsu. What can I mean to me yes in Jawana, but maybe it's not my style. It can say yes sir. Na yes wa come baby say you said you said in previous I dream him. I'm say how? Ken, how can I say that about you? That's said be said in previous. Na me people am say Oma over 22 no. Me na mbo mako homa.
Debi.
Wo ye adwuma e na e ma de wo ba wiase. Sebe wo hwe wo mo. Wo yire. Obi a adwini nti betimi ayesa adwuma no.
Debi.
Na me mbo because say wo go America oh. At the time I'm not going to America na yedin. You managed to go. You went there to work. Obi adwini nti betimi ayesa. About Parliament. And then you pride yourself sika wenya. Obi a adwini nti no wontimi ayesa. Sebe me pride biasa. Yen anim fere o. Nipa kronfo kra. Okokro no bo no succeed ya. O de adwene na akoye. Say ade a mekoye dangerous. Me fa ha na metima ye. What you say? And they can mintimi nkasa. Me nkasa so baby ya. Nemum ne maka. And asema me no kai ye. Say qualification eligibility. So you satisfied. But me I'm looking at the big picture.
Okay.
The big picture na me kase. E hodie. Because any pass me see so many years ahead of you. Me kasa. And they me paka and what they say. And what kaso I was say she and I'm saying wo ken wo ka de me betua ma mentina wo sheda wo person de me entokwa fufuro me now ye dey betua so we have to overrate no so leader wo de yen share am so I'm there tell me wo person ye share be share. That's how the relationship is.
Okay.
You be on one nim no akota radio so oh mummy need na tem me I don't blink over those things because me say me na can say me kire me ni yesu no. Because you say, so no be enya asem. Ne base mo kasa mo ye nchechiri mu. Was ni obeti kan say o to ne nsa no.
Na so munye de.
Na dwene no asa.
Ti on fan to kwamfam.
Sir.
Meda say leader. Honorable Osei Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu, thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe.